Hello everyone, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel, and today we are going to talk about the Advantage Arms 22 long rifle conversion kits for the Glock 19/23 Gen 5. Now this is my Glock 19 Gen 5, happens to be an omnivore holster, that's where I had it. That's why that little rail is there, I didn't feel like taking it off. Make sure it is unloaded. So this is my Gen 5 Glock 19, which I'm pretty happy with. Now, 9mm is not insanely overpriced, but you're paying about 30 cents around for 9mm ammo. I'm sure there's some cheaper stuff somewhere, but in 2022, in approximations, you're paying about 30 cents around. Now, 22 long rifle, even CCI mini mags, I feel like you should be able to get this for 10 cents around. Maybe more. At least half. So there is a cost saving. So if you have a Glock 19, oh, leave it there. There is a incentive, like, well, you know, maybe I could find a way to shoot 22 long rifle with my Glock 19 and save a little bit of money. Now, is it worth it? We'll get there. So, like I said, unloaded. Take the magazine out. We'll stick that over there. Take the slide off. Check one more time. You could go buy a Glock 44, which costs about $400. Buy magazines. Also, if you want to try to reuse this frame that you already have, you could buy an Advantage Arms 22 conversion kit. So I'll take this off the side, this off the side, and let's bring it out. Bam. Now, there is something nice to be said about a gun that comes, or not a gun, but a piece of gun accessory that comes in a nice package. This comes in a bag, and this bag is actually pretty useful. You can keep all your magazines in here. You're going to keep the gun in there. It has some use. It's lockable. You know, these two go together. You can lock it up. So just the bag itself is a nice value. It's not a cheap box. It's something you can actually use. So that's nice. What do we have here? For some reason it says out of stock. I don't know. I got this from Omaha Outdoors. Maybe this is the last one. It says Advantage Arms 22 long rifle conversion kit for Glock 19 23 Gen 5. 22 long rifle conversion kit. Now right here it says recommended ammo, CCI mini mags. So they recommend kind of higher velocity ammo, typically round nose bullets, without going, you know. Note, the Remington Golden bullets work quite well, however you will get more light strikes and inconsistent loads than with other recommended ammo. Do not use Stinger or any other hyper velocity ammo. Do not use Remington Thunderbolts. So, to buy a conversion kit like this, I bought this from Omaha Outdoors for like $243. And right off the bat, you see one of the downsides of these kits, and maybe just 22 long rifle pistols in general, is that they can be a little ammo sensitive. Excuse me. That certain ammo works fine, certain ammo doesn't work fine. They recommended CCI mini mags, which I did have, I did use, and spoiler alert, worked pretty well. But let's open this up. I'm going to try to replicate how it looked when it came to me. So, it's not an unboxing. I've shot this, but so what we got? We got a magazine with cuts on both sides. So this is I guess is either a Gen 4 or Gen 5 magazine, which means the magazine release is swappable. And yeah, it's a 10-round magazine, and you can load this one at a time this way. However, this magazine loader really does help. You know, like any magazine loader, you push down, put a cartridge in, lift up, push down, cartridge in, lift up. It does make loading these magazines a lot more pleasant, a lot more enjoyable. We're going to put this, oh wow, plastic got caught in there. Oh no. It comes with a little bit of information. Comes with a manual, which I did not read. Probably should have, did not. Not that much. And a little more about information about variety of ammo to use. Some says CCI mini mags, also CCI Air Tactical, CCI Blazer, CCI brand ammo seems to be what they're recommending. Do not dry fire this kit. The only time this kit should be dry fired is when it required for removal. Do not remove any screws. This is oil here. Okay. So, like I said, this bag is actually quite useful. You can keep your extra magazines in here. It only comes with one. Magazines are about $25 each. If you have, you can keep 4 magazines, one in the gun. You can keep the gun, with the kit in this bag. It's actually very useful, and I do appreciate that. Now we got the slide, and it comes in a bag like this, and it's going to come wrapped like that, I guess, to stop the parts from, falling out, which is a nice touch too. You don't want the parts to go flying all over the place. So what should we do next? Should we compare the slides? So this is the conversion kit. This is my Glock 19 Gen 5. This is a little bit lighter, not super light, noticeably lighter, but not so much you might not notice. Not so much to be just jarringly obvious, but it is lighter. This is made out of aluminum. This is made out of steel. The original is made out of steel. This is a low back operated gun, which means that the barrel does not. I'm trying to see if I can get this to move out. No, the barrel does not tilt at all like a Glock 19 or a SIG or most other guns, where the barrel will tilt as the slide is recoiling. So this is a lock breech, tilting barrel design. This is a straight blowback design. The design of the slide further still is a little different. This is the. Let's see, what am I getting? This coming out. Okay. This is the recoil spring of the Van Jom's conversion kit. This is the standard recoil spring. Significant differences there in both length and how this attaches into the slide, which is interesting. This barrel comes out real easy. There's a little bit of funkiness going on with here. So there is this kind of, right there, this kind of, first of all, the barrel. This kind of funkiness going on here. This is, it looks like the ejector. Looks like an ejector. Right there. For whatever reason, it hooks into the barrel itself. And if you're going to take this gun apart to clean, you got to take this out. I'm actually not going to do it too far. Oh, I did it. What goes back in? Yep, it goes back in. Sounds a little dirty from being used. This is also a striker-fired gun. These are both striker-fired handguns. This is not a hammer-fired gun. Sometimes you have 22 conversion, you get hammer-fired 22 conversions. This is not. Now they put this back together. I'm going to try to make sure I get this correct. I'm trying to get this barrel to line up with these grooves. Line up with that properly. See if I can get it. Okay, not too hard. Get this back together. So those are the differences in the construction of these two slides here. Getting a little bit of oil in there. Not too bad. So this slide that I have on my 9mm Glock 19 slide, these are Glock 9. These are True Glow night sights, and this particular version has front serrations on this gun, on the slide. Front serrations on the slide. This conversion kit does not have front serrations, and I've actually gone and grabbed this and slipped and had the slide close in my hand. So that's not fun. Keep in mind, nothing there, nothing there. And these come with what appear to be standard Glock adjustable sights, which I kind of liked. This one in the front is kind of click adjustable for elevation. I think I got those two right. One's elevation, one windage. And the windage one, why you need focus? The windage adjustment is kind of a screw adjustment, and the elevation adjustment is more of like a click adjustment. Now there is, I believe one more thing in the bag I forgot to bring out. There is like a adjustment screw. Which now appears to have been lost. There is an adjustment screw, and honestly, I found it to be so flimsy that it literally bent as I tried to use it. So if you get a small screwdriver, it would work just as well for adjusting the windage and elevation, which I had to do. And the slide, so get this 9mm, get out of the way. The slide will go on just like a normal Glock 19 slide if you did put it on correctly instead of putting it on backwards. Doesn't have quite the authority that a Glock 19 will close on, but yeah. Magazine release works as normal. Any upgrades you make to your frame or the grip or the trigger will be carried over to this. If you have the magazine release on the right side, if you're left-handed, this will carry over. So there is that. It'll carry over any modifications you've done to your frame. Yeah, the same exact grip, because it is the same grip. And I've adjusted these sights just a little bit down and a little bit to the right. And they're pretty zeroed now. What else should we talk about now? Well, I guess the main thing people might want to know is this reliable? And the answer is yes. So I had a box of CCI Mini Mags. I had 100 rounds of CCI Mini Mags. I'm like, yep, this is the recommended ammo. I'm going to use the recommended ammo. Keep in mind, if you use anything else, you might have problems. But I used the recommended ammo and loaded the gun up, fired 10 rounds, no problem. I'm like, great. Absolutely great. Second magazine, I had one failure to feed, in which the slide just simply didn't pick up a cartridge from the magazine. I don't know why. Maybe the magazine was breaking in. Maybe the gun was breaking in. I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, let's do it. Come on. I want you to work. And then every round after that was 100% flawless. Flawless. The gun works great. The gun works great. Locks open like you think it should. There's the chamber right there. So there's the ejector. Now, does that mean there's no extractor? Look, there's still an extractor right there. Yeah, it's hard to show because I am covering it up while I'm doing it, but there is an extractor right here. So it has an extractor and an ejector, which not all 22 pistols have. And even though it feels like there's a lot of stuff going on here, it all worked pretty well. It says don't dry fire, but we'll dry fire at one time. And it's going to have the trigger pull nearly identical to your Glock because it's a Glock frame. So how's the accuracy? I have a couple targets. Let me see. It's in my back. Let me get it. See what we got going on here. I got 2 targets. Make sure I got them sorted out correctly. It's just me casually shooting at 7 yards. So at 7 yards, this gun is pretty accurate. Pretty low recoil. I'm not sure which ones are my first shots, but you know, this is pretty accurate gun at 7 yards. Any competent shooter can do that at 7 yards with a 22 pistol. That's pretty nice. That might be the first shots. See, they're all printing just a little bit high for me. So I took out 10 yards. And I believe I kind of did it, you know, left to right. So this is me at 10 yards, like, That's not that great. It's not that great either. Let me adjust the sights a little bit low and a little bit right, and then we got that. Like, that's pretty good. And then that, pretty good. And then that, even better. Yeah, that's not bad. 10 yards, alright. I hadn't shot any gun in about a month. And this is the first gun I had shot in a month. I never shot that gun before, so I'm going to say accuracy is pretty good. So, it seems to be accurate, seems to be reliable. which is nice because I've had a few guns in a row now where they haven't worked so well out of the box. It's kind of refreshing to have this Advantage Arms. Does it say Advantage Arms? Advantage Arms Inc. Is that a town? Do the people live in this town? I feel sorry for them. Idaho. Pointing the gun will shoot without the magazine in it. It's just kind of refreshing to have a gun that kind of works out of the box. You know, slide release works, you know, both sides because it's the Glock frame. And again, just refreshing. Clear my throat a little bit, excuse me. Just refreshing to have a gun that just works. Just works. I paid for it. I bought it. I got it. I shot it, and it worked. Now keep in mind you want to make sure you get the one that is specific to your model of gun. So this is the Gen 5 Glock 19/23. Make sure if you have a Glock Gen 4 or a Gen 3 or a different model, a 17 or 20 or 21, whatever it is, make sure you get the appropriate model for your gun, or else you almost certainly have problems. Let's see, any negatives I can think of? You know, when you think about the conversion kit in general, you know, it's $240 plus shipping, plus extra magazines. You're approaching $300-400, you know, total. You know, so let's just say buy 4 magazines. It's another $100. You know, how much more would have been easier just to buy a .22 pistol, even a Glock 44? So there is a cost, you know, cost versus value equation you got to think about yourself. You know, is it worth buying and putting money into to shoot a little bit cheaper? Now, what is this gun good for? What's its purpose? And I think there's a couple of roles into it. Mostly recreational. It's a recreational shooter. It's kind of a trainer. It allows you to train or shoot a little more cost effectively, a little more cheaply. And it's a gun you can give to someone who might be a little less experienced, either a very elderly shooter, or a very young shooter, or a very inexperienced shooter. And give them one of these and be like, yeah, it's a Glock. Go shoot a Glock. What? Yeah, go shoot a Glock. They're great. And, you know, the recoil isn't nothing. The actual recoil impulse is not nothing. Sometimes it's all relative. If you shoot 22 long rifle for a bunch and then you shoot 9mm, 9mm is going to feel like a hand cannon. And conversely, if you shoot excuse me, 9mm a lot and then you switch to 22 long rifle, this is going to feel like nothing. So sometimes recoil is all relative. But almost certainly a lower recoil gun than the 9mm counterpart. A little easier to shoot, a little more cheaper to shoot. And, you know, some people might just enjoy that. And it might be something that you give to certain people who are newer to shooting, and you want to give them a really good experience. You want to give them like a, you know, 45 caliber 1911, because that's going to have a certain amount of kick to it. You want to give them something that's easy to shoot. So something for training, for practice, for recreational shooting, for newer shooters, absolutely. Now, would I bet my life on this gun? Well, first of all, I haven't shot it enough. But honestly, I would just bet my life on this Glock 19 with 9mm slide that I already have. I bet my life on that. Would I bet my life on this? No, and I don't think that's its purpose. Its purpose is to be a cost-effective, fun, economical trainer. And I think in that constraints, this is fine. This is great. From what I see so far. Now, I'm not going to go out and buy 500 rounds of C-side mini-mag and just run it through just to see what happens. Or maybe I get it so dirty that it gums up and stops working. I'm going to assume that if it's working out of the box, it's going to continue working. I'm not going to put 500 rounds through it just to see what happens. And unless the gun just explodes, I don't see myself changing my opinion on it. Because I've seen other reviews, and the other reviews seem to be similar consensus that this is a quality conversion kit. Some conversion kits are not as good. This one seems to be the best of it. And after doing a whole lot of video watching like you might be doing, I came to the conclusion to try out this one, and it worked for me. Great. If you want to try that out, feel free. Definitely recommend. This is Steven from the Even Steven channel. Please do all that like, sharing, and subscribing, and comments. I will answer as best I can. and I will see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.